What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Shonen Speak Easy. I'm your host, LQ, back with another episode of Today on the Internet. Today, we have been revealed the 2013 Game Award nominees. So, what I'm going to do is actually go through and tell y'all who I like and vote. You're going to hear me vote in person. So, I'm just going to give you a rundown on all the games. I'll tell you if I haven't played a game or not, to be completely honest, and who's getting my vote and why. So, first award, they just came out and just gave us the big hitter. I don't understand why. But Game of the Year says, recognizing the game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. The nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. My vote is going to Baldur's Gate 3. It is the definition of Game of the Year. It delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. This is a generational great game. It may not be for everyone, but it is the best of everything that it's trying to be. The reason why I'm not voting for Alan Wake, one, it's very new. I didn't even get a chance to play it. But also, I think it's visually more impressive than it is technically. It did release with some visual glitches, which, I mean, since it's the most visually impressive game, and also it was the most demanding, especially on PC, it kind of keeps it from getting my vote, even if I did play it. Marvel Spider-Man 2. I have nothing against this game outside of the fact that it did not release on PC. I didn't get a chance to play it, so I didn't get to have the experience. But I will say, being a sequel that is like, I would say a AAA sequel is really hard to beat sometimes. I do have the remaster of Marvel Spider-Man in my top 25 games of all time. 100% the game, 100% Miles Morales. It is incredible, but it's very, very hard to compete with Baldur's Gate. Resident Evil 4, I have nothing against it. I didn't really spend that much time in it, but I will say, since it is a remake, it's the quality of life changes that were made are great, but I don't think that it stands a test to the rest of the games that are available here. Super Mario Wonder only loses because of how extremely short it is. You can 100% the game in 18 hours. You can't even get to like the third act of Baldur's Gate 3 in 18 hours. You can beat Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 in, I think, 18 to 20 hours, but you can't 100% it. There's loads of content in these other games that keep you coming back for more, and they don't get dull. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is incredible, though. I will say it definitely deserved this nomination. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I wasn't interested in the game. I know it's crazy to hear from people that have been watching the hype train for years, and also Breath of the Wild is also in my top 25 video games of all time. And I'm pretty sure Super Mario Wonder may actually end up there at some point. It just depends on how it ages at this point, because I get it. Mario games are short, but I'm just saying, for Game of the Year, you may demand a little bit more content. But anyway, Tears of the Kingdom didn't really appeal to me because it just seemed a lot more technical than the last game and a lot more puzzles, and I hate puzzles in games. It's not that I'm not good at them. I can get a lot of them done. I've completed almost all of the was it dungeons or whatever that's in, I don't want to undermine it, but I don't remember the name. But all the little mini game dungeons that are in Breath of the Wild, I did all of them. But I don't have any interest in reliving more of what I had with more technicality. That's the part that I didn't want to experience any more of. Not to say that it's a bad game, not to say that it's not worthy of the nomination. I've seen a bunch of people have an amazing time with it, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 gets my vote. Next category, Best Game Direction. Award for most outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. The game of the year people are up again. It's Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This one goes to Alan Wake 2. If you just watch the cinematics for Alan Wake 2, it mixes real life footage into game and like game engine footage extremely well. Direction wise, a couple of these aren't even that creative. I mean, not to say they're not creative, they're not new, they're not innovative in any way. Tears of the Kingdom, more of the same. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a prettier, more polished version of the 2D side scroller. Marvel Spider-Man 2 has a great take on adding two heroes or two main characters into the game, but we've had Grand Theft Auto 5 that had you playing three main characters. Baldur's Gate 3 is very close second because of the innovation as far as the team building and the D&D elements are just fantastic. But Alan Wake 2 definitely gets my vote. Next up is Best Narrative. Marvel Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Baldur's Gate 3, and Alan Wake 2. Once again, it's going to Baldur's Gate. You can do almost anything. Like that's where it wins it from. One of the ways where it wins it for me. It does have some outstanding storytelling, and the narrative can be controlled by you. Spider-Man, incredible. Final Fantasy 16, I got to watch some people play it. Didn't really get that far into the story, but Final Fantasy is pretty good at telling stories. Believe it or not, I'm actually playing Final Fantasy 7 Remake right now. Phantom Liberty, I didn't get a chance to play it. I finally let go of my grudge against against Cyberpunk. I was one of the people that hyped it up way before launch, and then when I got it, it was nothing that I wanted. So now I'm just like easing up on it, and I have began to play it, but I haven't beat it. Baldur's Gate, even though I haven't beat it, the story so far has just been incredible. Honestly, it's just something you have to experience. Alan Wake 2, from what I've seen, great narrative, just not the best narrative. Next up, Best Art Direction. All right, Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Liza P is, to me, the worst of the group. It has something that is more reminiscent of Bloodborne, and I would like to have a game, if you're going to have Best Art Direction, to either be original or to have to be the best version of what you're going after. And I still think Bloodborne, even though it's an older game, is visually just more impressive in art direction. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, it makes you feel good inside. The wonder that is surrounding it is super cool. But I will say it doesn't hold a candle to the other three. Tears of the Kingdom, like I said, it's not anything new per se, but even the art design of Breath of the Wild to me just had more appeal. Alan Wake 2 and Hi-Fi Rush are the only two that I really can say anything about that should be noteworthy to where they should win. But they're two polar opposites. Alan Wake mixes the very polished and realistic visuals with reality in live footage that is just incredible to watch. And then Hi-Fi Rush is the most anime Saturday morning cartoon thing that I've ever seen. And the colors pop. It makes you feel good. With everything that moves in rhythm, every action that you take, every hit, every sound effect that's made that has word bubbles pop up. It's my winner, even though I know that it will not win the award. The award's probably going to Alan Wake 2, but my vote is for Hi-Fi Rush. Best score in music. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I do not even think that it is a slight competition. Hi-Fi Rush takes this. As a person that streamed the entire game, there were a lot of people that really loved the music. I love the music. I don't think everything has to be grand and cinematic to be good. And Hi-Fi Rush was the epitome of that. Just absolute great rock music, just through and through. Sushi Kobori, I actually saved the playlist that he has for this game because it's that good. Baldur's Gate 3, once again, grand cinematic. It's really good, but it just doesn't hold a test. It's just some good old electric guitar, some heavy drums, and just outstanding vocals. Honestly, the same thing can be said about Baldur's Gate, about Final Fantasy 16 and Tears of the Kingdom. And Alan Wake 2 has more of the eerie, horror-esque sound. I don't think that it shouldn't even been nominated. There's other games that have better music that are on the indie scene. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk should have been nominated here. Let's see, even as dumb as it seems, even Gravity Circuit could have been nominated here. Honestly, in some regards, even Starfield is a better nomination than Alan Wake 2. That's my hot take. It's fine. Hi-Fi Rush gets best music and score for me. Best audio design. Oh, this one's good. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Resident Evil 4, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Hi-Fi Rush again, Dead Space Remake, and Alan Wake 2. My vote, toss-up, is between Resident Evil. This one is really good. So I think everyone here has a good chance. My top three is Resident Evil 4, Dead Space Remake, and Hi-Fi Rush. Dead Space Remake is absolutely incredible. I think it should win, but also I'm down for the little dogs winning. I really want Hi-Fi Rush to win because it's all about rhythm. That's the whole purpose of the game, and I think it executes it extremely well. It's the best part about the game. So there goes my vote for that. Dead Space, very close number 2. Best performance awarded to an individual voice actor in motion and/or performance capture. So we have Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan from Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba from Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, Melody Libbard from Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel Spider-Man 2. Neil knocked it out the park. Honestly, every voice actor, Baldur's Gate 3 could have cleared this section. Everything could have been Baldur's Gate 3. All the characters are just so well done that they all deserve to be nominated. But if I'm going to go with anyone, I'm going with Neil Newborn. Innovation in accessibility. Forza Motorsport, Diablo 4, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. This one's tough because it could be Forza Motorsport with recognizing the software and hardware for the medium, pushing it forward by adding features, technology, content that help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I didn't play Diablo 4 because of how grindy it feels. I watched my friends play it a lot, and that was, it was fun. Forza Motorsport, racing games have always been great with accessibility. I haven't personally played it to test out the accessibility, but I will say Forza has been top notch in the category for years. Hi-Fi Rush has done everything to helping you with rhythm, with visual, with gaming pads, and having accessibility to all types of controllers. I've played it, so I know for sure. Marvel Spider-Man 2. I don't see how much more accessible you can make a game that has web slinging and combo fighting with parries. I think it has some innovation, but I still don't really find it nearly as accessible as the other games I named before it. Mortal Kombat 1, not gonna lie, it's a fighting game. I would automatically disqualify fighting games because no matter how accessible it is, it still takes a bunch of skill to even be remotely good at, or to like to be good enough and skilled enough to enjoy yourself. But then I have to contradict myself by saying Street Fighter 6, with all of its new control schemes, might honestly be the most innovative in accessibility, to where all gamers can feel like they are able to play this game. And you can have that one friend that button smashes and ducks all the time, doing full combos, and make them feel like they actually know how to play the game and feel rewarded. And you, as the person that plays with the standard controls, can still beat the crap out of them, because now the gap isn't necessarily learning how to play the game, it's the skill and execution. Street Fighter 6 gets my vote. Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning and message. Um, I know Vimba. Let's see, Vimba, Terra Nil, Tachia, Goodbye Volcano High, Cheers of Sonar, and A Space for the Unbound. I don't really know too much about most of these games, to be totally honest. Um, if I based off of what I knew, it would be Vimba. But I don't. You know what? We're gonna look this up. Let's see, Tachia. Let's see, Tachia will see you taking the reins of our Eponius hero on a journey to rescue her kidnapped father. The cruel tyrant Nova has taken him into Chia, armed only with a ukulele and a sense of adventure. They must fight to get them free. I actually intended on playing this game, and it just like flew by me, so I feel bad. So we kind of have the narrative about that. We don't have the intricacies of it, but we're still gonna vote. So we're gonna look at what is Goodbye Volcano High about. Love, friendship, personal growth, acceptance, and the power of community in the face of disaster. No lie, automatically sounds like a win to me, but we're gonna we're gonna give everything a fair chance here. Vimba is a narrative cooking game where you play as an Indian mom who immigrates to Canada with the family in the 80s. You cook various dishes and restore lost recipes, holding branching conversations and explore the story about family, love, loss, and more. It is a bit more in depth about that. A bit more in depth than that. Sorry. It's a lot about culture and how that culture is impacted by the society around them in the age that they were living in. So, like I said, it will get my vote, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna get it after this. So. Terra Nil is a game about transforming a barren, lifeless landscape into a thriving, vibrant ecosystem. Not gonna lie, I just don't care. Nothing about that sounds that intriguing. Chance of Sonar and A Space for the Unbound are the last two. And I think I remember A Space for the Unbound. I remember it being about depression and overcoming anxiety. So this one may honestly be pretty close to my winner. And I also need to play this game desperately. But yeah, so it says A Space for the Unbound is a slice of life adventure game with a beautiful pixel art set in the late 90s, rural Indonesia that tells a story about overcoming anxiety, depression, and the relationship between a boy and a girl with supernatural powers. That sounds pretty cool. And last one, Chance of Sonar. A language-based puzzle game based on the biblical story of the Tower of Babel. In its retelling, your character makes their way through 5 floors of tower in which is home to a different community with a different language. That is pretty cool. Let's see. I do think about the translation in language and that bringing us together is pretty cool, but I'm not gonna lie. I've at least seen my friend play Space for the Unbound, so it gets my vote. All right, next up, best ongoing. Awarded to the game for outstanding development and ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. There's Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, my bad. I had to read that correctly. Fortnite and Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact will never get my vote. Personal preferences, it's okay. Fortnite just keeps on going, bro. Like there's people that play it all the time. But no one had a bigger comeback season than Cyberpunk. I'm not even going to waste my time on the Final Fantasy because I never played it. And Apex Legends lost me a long time ago and just couldn't get me back. So unfortunately, that's not going to get my vote either. Cyberpunk it is. Even though it's probably going to be Fortnite. And I don't blame people if it's Fortnite. Best community support. Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077. The only two here that even should be considered is No Man's Sky and Baldur's Gate 3. So the reason why, I mean, everybody knows the story of No Man's Sky. Promised a lot, came out, didn't deliver on over half of it. People stuck with it throughout the years, and it then became even better than what was promised in the first place. Baldur's Gate 3 was in open beta and literally addressed almost all the problems that they had before launch. Something that we aren't used to. Like getting a complete game that is ready to play. You know, like that's just ridiculous. So once again, man, Baldur's Gate 3 just is gonna clear a lot of awards. This probably will go to No Man's Sky, my guess. Personal vote, Baldur's Gate deserves it. Best independent game. Now, this is where I thrive. Viewfinder is the view. Well, let me go over all the nominees: Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Cocoon is a game that I have very little exposure to. Which, I mean, it wasn't going to get, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't going to get my vote anyway. But I will say, what I've seen of it, it's very innovative. And it kind of puts you in the mind of, what's that game that I really like? Oh my God, I forgot the name of the game. I'm going to remember soon. Because remember, guys, I don't really care for puzzle games. So that's kind of where Cocoon was going to lose me anyway. Death's Door. That's it. Cocoon puts you in the mind of Death's Door, but more puzzle based. And that's kind of where I'm just like, it's good for somebody. You know, like it's just one of those games. And I don't want to be that person where I'm just like, it sucks because it's puzzles. No, it is a very good game, especially from what I've seen. People say that it has resemblance of Limbo, Inside, and Ico, which are incredible games. But it's just not the game that would win this year. Like indie games were huge. Like the next game, Dave the Diver, one of the most satisfying game loops of all time. It has a great, simple narrative. Dave is a pretty much a retired diver who goes to help his friend who owns a boat to go help a guy build a sushi restaurant. And through that, he ends up finding some really wild stuff underneath the sea, and they make really good food. You manage a restaurant, and you manage a restaurant by night. You're a diver by day, and through that is a whole bunch of funny hijinks and things as well. Dredge, the Lovecraftian fishing game, it is really cool and innovative. You kind of keep your resources like you would in a Resident Evil game, but unfortunately, that game won't get my vote either. Sea of Stars, to me, could have been easily nominated for Game of the Year. It is a turn-based RPG, but it has a great way of going about being turn-based. Also, with its own accessibility features that make the game easier or more difficult depending on your playstyle and how familiar you are with RPGs. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Gerard the Completionist, a YouTuber who is known for completing games in full before he reviews them, actually is in Sea of Stars, which is pretty freaking cool to me. One of my favorite YouTubers is in the game. And then there's Viewfinder, which is to me the most innovative game this year, of a puzzle game where creating the path is through images and using those images to branch off and to create new paths. Literally, you look at the photo, and when you put the photo down, like, it creates the path in front. It's so cool. It's so cool. It doesn't... Seeing how far gaming has come, Viewfinder just looks so unreal. Like, it's so cool. But I would have to say it's either between Dave the Diver and Sea of Stars. And it's so hard because I think Dave the Diver is the most fun game on this list. I've played a little bit of Dredge. I've played Sea of Stars. I've watched other people play Viewfinder because personally it wouldn't have been the game for me. But Sea of Stars is a game I'm still playing now. Gonna complete it. And I love it. It's such a great game. And I don't really like turn-based games, so that's impressive as well. Sea of Stars gets my vote. Dave the Diver should probably get the people's vote, if not that. But yeah, those are the only two that I feel are going to win at all. Sea of Stars might actually win. Best debut indie game. There's Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, Viewfinder, and Cocoon. So, as much as I talked about Viewfinder being the game that I just truly didn't, this showed how far innovation has come, Dredge is just straight up more fun. Like, I don't know what to tell anybody. Viewfinder, to me, though, is incredible. Like, I just want people to know that. Viewfinder is the better reviewed game. Just to let people know. Cocoon is the best reviewed game out of all of them, but it's not my thing. It's just not. So unfortunately, it still won't get my vote. But I'm gonna say Dredge for an indie horror game. I didn't get to finish it, so I feel a little uneasy about giving it my vote. But then again, there's Pizza Tower, and Pizza Tower is that game. Pizza Tower is the game that if I was like, hey, you should play this, and I just showed you what it looked like when playing it, you would look at me and think I was crazy. But also, you know, it's just one of those games that's like really fun and wacky to see. I don't know if I would vote for Pizza Tower, though. I mean, everything about Pizza Tower is just wacky. I love 2D platformers, even though I didn't get to play it. But since I hadn't touched it at all, I'm going to say, you know what? Screw it. I'll go against myself. Viewfinder for the win. Best mobile game. Terra Nil, Honkai Star Rail. I do not like turn-based games that much. So, as you know, the one that impressed me the most was Sea of Stars being the best indie game. Hello Kitty, Island Adventure, not interested. Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, it's probably really good. I don't know. I never played it. And Terra Nil just didn't really have anything going for me. Monster Hunter Now is going to win it with ease. Niantic and Capcom is just a crazy, crazy duo. Best VR and AR game. Humanity is one of those games that I saw and I was like, people are going to love this. Horizon Call of the Mountain is probably really good. I have no clue, but Resident Evil Village VR mode is probably gonna win. The Humanity is gonna win for me. I'd never even heard of Synapse, and Gran Turismo is just racing in VR, which is good, but it's easy to innovate on. Best action game: Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Remnant 2, and Hi-Fi Rush. I'm gonna tell you now, I own 3 of these games. Hi-Fi Rush is still the winner. Armored Core is an outstanding game from Software. It has some brutal mechanics that can punish you. Remnant 2 is the game that is like a gamer's game. Whenever you look at video games and you ask a gamer what they're playing, it will probably have some no pun intended remnants of Remnant 2. Ghost Runner 2 looks really cool, but I've also seen people get like dull and tired with it. Dead Island 2 is just an all right game that looks really cool. So Hi-Fi Rush again. I really hope it wins. Winner will probably be Remnant 2, or it'll be from Software's Armored Core 6. Best action adventure: Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom will most likely win this category. I will say my personal vote. Always, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably gonna be Tears of the Kingdom. I would probably vote for them myself, but in the order of what I care about, Resident Evil 4, I actually own it. Marvel Spider-Man 2, the other Spider-Man games gave me the feeling that I know this one has. And then Alan Wake 2, then Tears of the Kingdom, then Jedi Survivor. I just don't care about Jedi Survivor that much. It's a great game. Personally, just don't care about it. This one's the toss-up. Combat with traversal and puzzle solving. The combat is better in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The puzzles are better in Legend of Zelda by far. Traversal is a tie between Legend of Zelda and Spider-Man. The combat, I mean, it could be all of these, but I'm gonna say combat would be either Jedi Survivor and honestly Resident Evil 4. So I'm gonna give it to Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Best RPG. I am not picking Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. I'm going Sea of Stars. Like I told you, absolutely love the game. Baldur's Gate 3 will win this category. It shouldn't lose this category at all. It is easily the best RPG. But I do like some things to be streamlined, and the reminiscent callback to retro gaming, for me, is what will get my Sea of Stars vote. Best fighting game. We got God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. I have played 3 of these games. I watched 2. I watched Mortal Kombat 1 and God of Rock. I've seen the glitches in Mortal Kombat 1. Not good. Hitboxes were an issue. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 is a hand over fist improvement to 1. It actually deserves even more praise than what people are giving it. Pocket Bravery is so fun. Think King of Fighters and Street Fighter, but like mini, like big head mode. And that's Pocket Bravery. It's a very good game. God of Rock is when you mix Tekken with Guitar Hero and you make it clunky. I was actually really excited for the game. It came out, I watched reviews, watched gameplay. It ain't winning nothing, bro. But Street Fighter 6 to me could also have been a contender for Game of the Year. Street Fighter 6 is incredible. And it deserves to win Best Fighter over Mortal Kombat 1. Next up is Best Family Game. We got Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Sonic Superstars, Pikmin 4, Party Animals, and Disney Illusion Island. I'm gonna tell you now, I haven't even touched Disney Illusion Island, and for anybody that has no disrespect to you, I just don't see it. Like I don't see it winning at all. Like there's no way. Also, it didn't review that well. It got like middle of the road reviews. Now, the game that could pull an upset, and it would be an upset, is Party Animals. Party Animals is the Xbox / PC exclusive that's very remnant of Gang Beast, but I guess it came out to some problems. It didn't score as well as I thought it was going to. I heard that the multiplayer mechanics weren't all that great. That's rough. Pikmin 4, I could say it's appropriate for family play, but I don't think that it's going to be a game that your family actually sits around and plays. Like, the participation won't be equal. Sonic Superstars, definitely a contender. They executed a lot well for a 2D Sonic, but it also, once again, just didn't review all that well. And then there's Super Mario Wonder. Like, you don't put this in a category. You don't put Super Mario Wonder in this category and not expect it to win. But it definitely has my vote. I feel like anyone of any age could play the game and have a good time. Best sim and strategy game. We got Advance Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, City Skyline 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. I'm going to tell y'all now, man. City Skyline is incredible. Like, for a person that doesn't like games in this category that much, just watching it is really fun and it's really cool. But the gamer in me that really likes a gamey type game, and I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but a gamey type game where if you look at it and you say, that's a video game, that's not a sim. Pikmin 4 is that game, yo. Like, it has the bright colors. It has the, like the subtle humor. It's just that game. Like, I just don't understand how that would lose. But yeah, that's the game getting my vote. I don't even really have to play the whole thing in order to know that that's the game I want to win. Pikmin 4 gets my vote. Next up, best sports and racing game. This is easy. Crew Motorfest, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, Forza Motorsport, F123, and then EA Sports FC 24. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged is a great game. If you don't believe me, honestly, just play it. Just play it. It's a fantastic game. I know it's not going to win, but it's a very fun game. Like, not everything has to be, so serious. And I feel like this is the game. That's Forza Motorsport is that game. Like, it is the very serious. You're not going to, I don't know, like, you're not going to mess around and have like a really campy time type game. But it is extremely fun. It looks beautiful visually. It's gonna win. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna win. But I'm voting against it. Hot Wheels 2. Make games gamey again. God dang it. Best multiplayer. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Party Animals, Diablo 4, Baldur's Gate 3. Did I say that right? Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I love Street Fighter. It does not deserve to win this for its online experience. Super Mario Brothers Wonder may actually be one of the closer ones to winning. We already talked about the issues with Party Animals. Diablo 4 was huge when it dropped, and multiplayer seemed to have worked pretty well. But let's be real. Baldur's Gate 3 is excellent on all ends. So it gets my vote. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that is faithfully and authentically adapts a video game into another entertainment medium. We have Gran Turismo, Castlevania Nocturne, The Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is the worst. So we can go ahead and get that out of the way. So we're down to 4. Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers, Gran Turismo, and Castlevania Nocturne. I will say, from my personal experience, it could be the Super Mario Brothers movie. I've watched it maybe 4 times now. But The Last of Us is just outstanding. The cast, the score, the setting, it's all great. Gran Turismo, I'm not gonna lie, it could probably be in any other racing game that described as that, and I probably wouldn't have made a difference to me. Castlevania Nocturne, I haven't seen it, and that's my fault. So I'm gonna go with Last of Us. Most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. It's easily Hades 2. It's not even a discussion. Tekken 8 may be super hype, but it's not. Hades was like a Game of the Year nominee. Content Creator of the Year. For a streamer, content creator who's made an important and positive impact on the community in 2023. I am not nominated, so I don't care. Just being real. But I've heard amazing things about People Make Games, so they get my vote. Best esports game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, Valorant, and League of Legends. I'm not gonna lie, I hate most of these games. I don't like Valorant. I don't like Dota 2 at all. I think the reason why I hate these games is not because they're not good, but there's a pretentiousness behind these games that makes it very hard to get into unless you've already been in them. I would say the ones that are most exciting are probably PUBG and Valorant, but I don't like the community of Valorant or Dota 2. I don't really like what I don't like what Counter-Strike is doing for multiplayer or has made available for multiplayer, but esports wise, it's lit. Counter-Strike 2 gets my vote. Best esports athlete. I'll be honest, I don't care at all. So I'll just vote for one of the games I like, but isn't annoying. We got Lee Faker for League of Legends, Matthew Hubert for Herbot for CS:GO, Demon One for Valorant, Hydra for Call of Duty. I'm not voting for anything Call of Duty. Ruler for League of Legends, and Emperor Hall for Apex Legends. Emperor Hall gets my vote. He's gonna lose though. Best esports teams: Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Gaming Gladiators for Dota 2, JD Gaming for League of Legends, Team Vitality for Counter-Strike. That's who gets my vote. Best esports coach. I just voted for the team, so I'll do something and vote for a different group. But actually, I've heard about Florida Mayhem's coach from Overwatch, and I'm gonna give it to him. I've actually heard of him before. Best esports event: Evo. The hell? Never vote against Evo. Yeah, that's it. There we go. That's all 31 votes casted. I am super impressed. That was incredible. I'm glad that shoot. I'm glad I got to do that. That was actually really fun. Oh no, bad gateway. It's not letting me look at my earned badge of voting in all categories. But anyway, we went over our winners for each category. That's all I wanted to share with y'all. So, you know, Shonen Speakeasy. We out.